Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take that hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here with our money mindset coach, Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Woo! Showing us how to think better about our money and make our money better, faster, and easier. So, without further ado, I want to introduce to some and present to others Coach Karen Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Woo! How you doing, Coach?
I am fantastic. I'm so excited for this other quarter, of this year. Some people want this year to be finished with. Some people don't want to acknowledge this year is around. I just want to go on record saying that I said 2020 is going to be a great year. It's still a great year. It's just how you've decided to look at it. If
Mm,
you were able to rest, this is your rest period. If you were able to learn, this was your learning period. If you were doing a lot of self examination and you didn't like what you see, this is a chance for you to correct it. If you have suffered some loss, this is the time for you to mourn and change up a few things because everything that happened has a lesson in itself. So
mhm.
2020 has started off and is continued to be a blast if you would like to see it this way. Okay? And
All
today
right.
we're talking about the outcome, right? And that's my segue into the outcome. We are talking about the outcome and whatever it is you want to see happen. And you're gonna have to put in some time to see that results. Early
Mm.
this year, I talk about quite a few things. I'm sure I talk about sale. I'm gonna just go back a little bit to just give you you know, a little look back, if you will, right? And I'm gonna
Okay.
not go through everything, but just briefly go through everything. January, the first week I talk about there's a time for everything, and we're seeing that happening. And in February, I talk a little bit about sales. In March, I really look at strength training, and that's for your mind. And in April, I started talking about everything is possible. And I went into several different areas of that. And this month, for me, we're talking about outcomes. And why am I looking at outcomes? Because I decided I need to talk. I talk a lot about us and what we need to do for ourselves. But if you have clients and you've been wondering, how do I support these clients? How do I tell people consistently what I do with not only saying I help, I help, I help, but what else could I say? How could I do it? Well, you might want to start looking at the outcome that you will help your clients achieve, or in how you're going to make them feel and how they will help their clients. Because when you start showing them that picture of further down the road, then they really understand how working with you is important. Because most of us know where we want to be. We have this big picture, even if we don't understand it's a big picture, but we understand, we're seeing it in our mind's eye, but we can't touch it yet. And we want to get there as fast as possible.
Mhm.
And if you're the person who always help, you don't want to ask for help. And when you do ask for help, you actually want the person to tell you how they're going to help you, but you don't want to ask them to tell you. You want them to just voluntarily tell you how you're going to help them get in. So that's what we're looking at today. The outcome that you do for your clients. And this is whether it's a product or a business, because sometimes products get pushed aside and people only think about, I like I'm a service business, how I'm helping that way. But products help people too. And sometimes when you have a product and you so love it, it's your baby, you're not sure how it helps somebody, you know? And you're always worried. I remember one of my biggest clients when I was in the food business, my food used to help her in a way that initially it wasn't healthy, but over time she worked that out. So You want to allow your product and understand your product and understand how it helps somebody. And then you want to hone in on that. And that helps you with your strengthen your geniusship. Yeah, that's my word. And also help you to strengthen yourself as an expert in a specific area. Because if you think food, if you were a cook, a caterer, and if you think food, you don't need to be an expert, or you're saying, how can I be an expert? I could only cook this and that. You can be an expert in whatever dishes or the way you prepare it in. That's what you have to decide. I personally know a long time ago, I'm not those kind of caterers who trying to cook every um, ethnicity meal. Ethnicity meal. I stick to Guyanese. I don't even worry with the rest of the Caribbean, the rest of South America, because it's not because I wouldn't learn or I can't cook it. It's because I don't want to. I decided when I started out that's where I'm going to be. Of course, because it was in my country first. But even when I go to other countries, I always just stick to that because I get better and better at doing what I know, and I know perfect it, and I know the recipes at the tip of my tongue. It's right in my head. I could do it blindfolded. I've gotten so profound in it. And that's how you have to be in what you do so that you now can help somebody get the outcome in what they do. Because the skills you learn and you perfect in the thing you do is what you're going to help that potential client with. Not how you do it, but you're going to learn some things about it and you're going to meld it together. And that's how they're going to get their recipe sauce. That's how they're going to get their secret sauce or whatever they want to call
Mm.
it. And now that I went with that spiel, we're going to look at three things in how we go about doing that today. I don't know if we're going to cover
Okay.
all because it's big, but we're going to look at the first one for sure, which is make a list of the good things that can happen for your ideal clients. You have to make the list because people are coming to you not sure how they're going to make this happen. If you're coming to me for pricing, I have to understand the person business to help them price it. I also have to have a willing candidate to see where they're lacking and how I can help them. If they're not willing and open and allowing, it didn't matter what I have to offer. I cannot help them. If they come in rigid and say this is the time lot I have, and I'm not willing to not do the things you're asking me to because I don't want to shift those things, then there's no point working with me. There's no
Hmm.
point me helping them, right? And
Yes.
they need to move forward somewhere else.
I like the idea of making the list, Karen, because when they tell you how you help them, there may be something that you hadn't identified as an outcome.
Right.
The For that individual, it was significant because a lot of times the outcomes we take the outcomes for granted.
Right. And I had to learn that over time that if I don't let people know the outcome, they might go away thinking, well, A, they didn't get anything from me when they had gotten, and they hadn't taken the
Hmm.
time to see all that I've given to them because maybe the homework they didn't do, or maybe at the time what I was asking them to do, subconsciously they weren't ready to go that deep. And so
Hmm.
instead of me getting them to the deeper point, I help them put up a new wall because most people that's coming to me have several walls up, period. And my job is to help them not break it down to the ground, but to lower the curtain, if you will, or lower the fence a little bit so that we can be eye to eye over the fence,
Mm.
understanding how we're going to take down each brick to make sense for them. So I need to have them have a list outlined. That's what I realized over time, and it comes end up being in the form of a system where they know that if they come to work with me, for instance, and what is the outcome? Am I helping them to grow the business? I mean, depending on what we talk about, I would know that list for. Am I helping them to get clear on their product or services? Am I helping
Hmm.
them to set up to become whatever it is they decide to become. And then I have the list of all the steps for them to become that. So when they leave me, they understand what they came in to get, and then that they got it.
Okay.
That's what
Hey,
I want.
Brenna, how you doing? Brenna's
Hi,
in the
Brenda.
house
Thanks for joining.
tonight. We got several people now, so we must say hi.
Hi,
Yeah,
hi guys.
yeah, because if you don't identify it, and it's an intangible thing, it's not tactile, then it needs to be listed, because otherwise, we, like you said, we think we didn't get anything. We got vapor, when in fact we built our confidence, or we uh, gain knowledge and change the habit that's enabled us to have money in our business, or to have money in our bank accounts, or we handle our money differently. I'm talking about your, in your particular case, because you are
Yes,
a money mindset coach.
yes.
Uh, because the things that you do work on our minds. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and it's really intangible. So I had to learn that people, I'm seeing their growth. I'm seeing how they've moved. And unless I'm able to literally point it out to them, they themselves would be like, I could see in their heads, how did I get from A to B? And that's for business people. Even in my family, there's times I'm literally just sitting still, and they'll come up to me and say, "Well, mom, you weren't doing anything," or "Karen, you weren't doing anything." They're not gauging that I was doing something. I was being still because I needed to process a specific thought, or I might have had some work I'm working through for a client, and it need my quiet time so that I
Mm,
be able to get back to that client with the right information versus just spilling. Because
yes,
sometimes I need to be quiet in my mind and myself to be able to develop, to present when my client and I meet again. And to some people, if you're watching me, lots of time when I work, it looks like I am doing nothing, but I'm doing a whole lot of things. You just can't see the things that I'm doing. And then, oh, if you see me typing, then yeah, I'm working. But lots of time, the work is not me physically doing anything. The work is me processing through and getting things lined. Because everybody's different, but I'm the kind of person who could organize things in my head. So I literally put them in columns. I need to see it like a spreadsheet, if you will, in my mind eyes, and then I go to work. I
mm-hmm,
work.
mm-hmm.
And everybody learn and do things differently, but that's my style. So I usually need that time and space to do that, so that when I go to work, I am ready to just like focus in and get things done. Yeah, so you want to have that list for people so
Yeah,
that they can
I
know.
I think that is something that's very hard to define, because I was sitting and I was thinking, wow, biz chicks, we're really the countesses of concepts. We can we can take your business and give you some concepts that you never thought about for
Right,
making money.
exactly.
And so I'm going to write that down. The countesses of concepts.
Yes. And if you have a list written down of, once you know that and you have the list of all the things that's going to happen within that pocket, then you could say these are the things that you,
Exactly.
right? Yes. Because people
These
love,
are the ideas that we gave you
yes, yes.
to choose from to help flip the script on, your ability to make money in this business.
Right.
Especially now, people really need help shifting,
Yes,
if you will.
yes, yes. People
Yeah.
really need help shifting. And because they got schooled, just like how they got schooled on, I need to work at 120% nonsense, that I have
Hmm.
since like 2 years now, I've been saying it. No 120% nonsense, because you're only 100%. Forget the 20%. You not work. If you work at 100%, you're doing good. No 120. The reason you think you need 120 is because you've been working at a mediocre 40 or barely 60%, and you're lying to yourself, because we're good liars to ourselves more than anybody else. We can lie ourselves through anything. Let me tell you. Just like how we can work ourselves through pain, whatever, we can lie to ourselves. Really, I took 2 weeks off last month in working out, and this month When this month started and I had to work, I was like, well, I mean, if I spend another 2 days, nothing's gonna happen. And you guys know I talked to Karen. I was like, Karen, you're such a little lard. You better get into that workout clothes, get moving, girl, because that's a big fat lie that's gonna lead to a third week. And I get
Yeah,
dressed right away. Yeah,
I
I
feel you.
dressed right away.
And I was confessing the other day about the fact that I had stopped working when we stopped walking rather when we did the social distancing because I used to drive to where I work like people drive to the gym.
Right.
And when the routine changed, I did not shift immediately. It's causing me a lot of setback because I didn't shift timely to keep the momentum going. Is that?
Because restarting is hard.
Hmm.
Restarting is just the hardest thing. This is why when you go to school when you're older, you better got set up. I had my whole program written out, at least the framework and some of the programs. I reshift everything because one of the things I have been watching and noticing is that the reason, not the only, but the reason people do not do well in the programs they take online is because there's no goddamn structure. They take a
No,
program and there's no structure. And I
and
want structure in my program because I want
I
you to do results.
cannot I cannot do without structure. Structure is key for me. I'm just a D. I'm just that person who needs. I gotta know where are we going with this. What's the objective? What's the outcomes that we're looking for? What are the deliverables? You call them outcomes. What am I gonna have when I finish this?
Right? Like, what am I supposed to do? If I'm teaching you Canva 101, when you're finished, I want to say to you, you can do a simple Facebook cover. You can simply set up graphics for your content to post on Facebook. You can set up, let's say, 3 social platforms. Here's the 3 things you can do, and this is for the free bundle. If you want to do anything further, you'll have to take Canva 102 or something from me where we go in, you actually pay for the software, and now we're going to see how to take out stuff from behind you, how to be transparent. I'm going to show you fonts. We're going to get deeper into different things, filing and the whole 9 yards. So when you leave, here's all the great things I now can do with Canva. And I want
Exactly.
you to go back, look it over, make sure you can do it. Might even ask you to teach it to me so I know that you get it in your head because it's nothing like teaching it to somebody
Yes.
else to know you receive it. So when you leave, you can confident. Matter of fact, most
Hi,
things I
Jerry.
teach, I want to make sure you can take it and you can actually
Hmm.
turn back and use it as part of your business, your program, something to help you move forward. That's
Exactly.
key for me. That's the key for me. So you write that list, you get yourself going. Number two was the outcome to describe
Hey, Jill.
the physical.
Hmm.
And we just speak about the measurable outcome. We want it to be that thing that people can walk away from. This is also on my research journey that I find why people will quickly buy several programs that would add up to my coaching services faster than paying for coaching because somebody said to them, I'm going to help you learn Pinterest so that you can make a lot of money. I'm going to help you learn Instagram so you can make a whole lot of money. Now, once they get into those programs, they realize they can't really make any money because they still didn't understand pricing structure. They didn't understand about themselves. They didn't understand a whole bunch of things. So now they learn all this stuff, but they're like, what do I do with it? They don't get to that point, and they take another course and another course, not condemning the courses,
Hmm.
but they didn't listen to what the instructor told them they're going to get. I'm going to teach you how to pin, how to make it look pretty, how to write good description, how to set up a lead magnet. What I will not help you do is price your product. I will not sit with you and get clear on your stuff. No, because that's a coaching thing. But they're not
Hmm.
going to say those parts because they are selling you what I just stated initially. And you have
Hmm.
to be aware of that. Is that right?
Yes. So I understand what you're saying. So when you are offering a service to someone, you need to make sure that you're clear about what the deliverables are
Yes.
at the end. Because, for instance, when we do a workshop, I like to say to people, at the end of this workshop, be able to do A, B, and C.
Right. Exactly.
And then at the end of the workshop, we go back and say, did we do A? Does everybody know how to do that? Does everybody know how to do B? And does everybody know how to do C? And
Exactly.
if that is the case, then we have delivered what we said we were going to do.
For sure.
And it's fresh in people's minds when they leave that they got what they came for.
Exactly. Exactly. Because some people we have to recognize. I was coaching on Monday evening, and this client didn't know certain things, and I recognized immediately. I said, "Oh boy," because I know it in my head. I took for granted that she knew A to Z. And then once I slow it down and bring it back, and we were going to cover, I said, "Hold up, we can't cover that because you haven't been here. So
You need some foundational stuff.
let's move back and let's deal with here. I know where you want to go quickly, but it can't
Hmm.
happen because you don't know here. And if I move you forward, it would be a disservice to you. I would not be serving you well. And that's not how I roll. So we need to go visit this area. And she didn't like it for 15 minutes, but she got into it, because she knew in the hearts of heart what she needed to be. But of course, everybody wants speed. So it's given
Hmm.
to us in this big chunk, and we really can't digest it. People, I
Hmm.
went to school on a program and I did it double down in less than 2 years. And the program was a 3 year program. And let me tell you something. I did it. I wouldn't recommend it to people because I had two children, and I went to school full time. And it's just because of the stellar mindset, I always go back to that I have, that really propelled me to get this done. I was a beast at studying and passing exams. That was it. But it was hard. It was hard. And I had a sick child at the time. It was hard to do
Mm.
work. So when you speed through work and you don't spend time and you come out of it, you are so exhausted that you're not even sure about the things you have learned. You're
Hmm.
just so exhausted. So the clearer we can be as the teacher and the instructor and the coaches and letting people know and not being afraid to tell them it's going to take a long time, the better we will be are at surface based people. The better we would be are even as product based people. Like we have to tell people it's going to take some time. Going back to my cooking days, I would only do certain products on Sundays or on Saturdays. You couldn't get it Monday to Friday. Why? It took so much time. It was more expensive. And the reason I didn't offer it is because I couldn't cut out what I did Monday to Friday to incorporate.
Hmm.
It makes sense for my business. So everybody knew that if you wanted to buy this specific product, you could only get it on Sunday. This specific product, you could only get it on Saturdays. And as much as that might scare some people, actually, that those two products were sold out. You couldn't get them at 12 o'clock. If you hit me up at 12, they're done because people paid
Hmm.
in advance because they knew it
Yes.
was 2 days.
Hmm.
That
I
was
get it. So how can we apply this to our businesses?
okay. So depending on what business you have, if it's service based,
Well,
remember.
we got Jill in here. Jill
Okay.
runs the yoga studio.
All right.
We've got Jerry in here. She's making masks.
Mhm.
Um, I think those are the only two people I can see their names.
Okay.
Oh, Brenna's in here, and she does Happily Green and Clean with
Yes.
Lewix.
Hmm.
So now you know what services are being offered.
Right. So
Hmm.
for the mass creation, you know for sure how long it's going to take you because if you're making it ready, you know how. So you know the turnaround. So you want to be upfront with that. You don't want to pretend it's going to be done faster. You can't be worried that they might not buy your mask because if you do, you're going to find yourself in trouble. I always under promise and over deliver.
Delivered, yes.
That's like the biggest thing. And I sewed so I still sew. I enjoy sewing. So I always under promise and I always over deliver. So that's like key for that business. For the yoga, now we can be in the place. So if you're doing it online and you know fully well that you can meet with the clients several times a week, then for your own sanity, you do it once a week. And the other
Mm.
time you send them material, but you do it once a week, but you let them know here's what's going to happen. Here's how I decide to deliver the program. Here's 3 times, if you're surveying to see what is the best time for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna really be
Oh,
reaching out to people in the same place.
I've got the wrong Jill. It's just she's from the other Jill. This Jill, she does holistic, um, a holistic directory.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I,
Sorry, Jill. Yeah, I just said hi, Jill. I apologize, Jill. This is
okay,
Jill
sorry.
Bernard.
I was running with my very
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, so she's doing a service. Hmm.
And so people get to list their businesses with her. That's
I
what's going on.
I'm I'm asking. We're asking the question, Jill. Are you doing a business listing for people? Is that how you? Is that the service that you're offering? Because you put she says similar. Here's similar energy through love. Okay.
I'm not sure.
We're we're not that sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm
can
not,
you write a little
yeah, understanding.
one or two sentences about what you do so we can be a little more specific? But we do know we have Jerry in here who's making masks. We have Brenna in here who's doing Norwich.
Yeah. For Brenna with Norway, let's talk about that a little bit because I heard
Hmm.
her talk about it on First Mondays, and I love, and I heard about the product before, so I know about it and what it can do. One thing I and I know what you mentioned, but one thing for Brenna would be to find out about people who is in the cleaning industry for business. You want to talk with them. You really want to survey them because I'll tell you right now, I run a cleaning company. And although water can clean things, if you get to a really nasty house or business, that cloth wouldn't do it. You can't convince them that water is going to do it, even if they hire you. So you would have to figure out if they have any other product that people could use along with it, only because, and this is from experience, you get into an office that was all locked up and just funky and you
Mm,
open
mm,
up all the places and you say to them, listen, this place needed to be looked after because there's probably some mildew behind, and they're like
yes, yes.
renting this space and we can't tell the landlord because they're not going to do anything about it. And if you're now starting off in business and you want the business, you're going to try to figure out how to clean the business, how to clean
Mm,
the space, and I know that years ago, water and newspapers is all we used to clean the mirrors with. So I know this stuff work without even thinking about it. As I've heard her speak on it, I'm like, I know that this can work. But I also know that to convince people before you're in there that water is going to work, and people are savvy these days, so they actually ask you what product you're going to use. You have to know that the home is being maintained to be able to go in water and cloth. So I like what Brenna's doing, but I think one of the big things she would need to do is really survey cleaning companies and get their take on it because it will help you. And it will help you actually to gain more clients. Because honestly, we don't want to have our employees breathing in crap day in, day out because it breaks them down. They don't even
mhm,
realize that's why they lose so much energy per day because they're inhaling it. Um, because
mhm.
you know they take this job because they need the income. So
Yes.
who that's why they took the job. So if we could educate them and let them know that this is to help them, they would use it. But you would have to talk to.
Yeah, I think you hit on it right there, Coach. Educate. You're gonna have to educate them because you're gonna gradually migrate them, and they're gonna gradually have to educate and migrate their clients
Hmm.
because we're so used to a smell
Hmm. Hmm.
that if it doesn't quote unquote smell clean
Yes.
based on our historical reference,
Hmm.
then you're gonna have some pushback.
Yes.
Now here's Jill. She says, yes, I promote holistic and healthy businesses through my publication site and through social media. Okay, so yes, she's promoting other people's businesses.
All right. So
She says, in particularly in the greater Sacramento area and expanding. Okay, got it, Jill. Thank you.
nice. Yeah. Thank you.
And
So
Maureen has joined us. Hey, Maureen.
hi, Marie.
Go.
So in doing so, she would have to list all the different things she's doing to make sure my business, make sure I want to sign up with her and pay her money every month to advertise my business. Case in point, I had myself advertised in my cleaning business in a Christian directory, had it in several places, and they did nothing. They took my money, they made up the books, but they didn't actually do anything. And it's my fault because I didn't ask for a list. When I asked for the things that they're doing and they told me, they lied, they weren't doing, and I just took it because they were Christians, and I was like, oh, why would they lie? But I recognized they weren't doing anything. They were just dropping them off at places that people didn't care about. And I told them, I said, if you're at those places dropping off, and I could tell you why, because I'm those people who go buy groceries, stand up at the door and talk to about 25 people who go in and out and ask them questions when I'm getting my business off the ground because I want to succeed. And those are things that's hard to do, but if do you need to do them. I'm always
Okay.
coming from a business point of view where it makes sense, right? All right, go ahead.
Yes. Now, Maureen is in here, and Maureen does health and fitness. What is it? Crawl, walk, run, and she does the table of six for health, teaching women how to eat healthy. Also, recently she launched a program for people who are menopausal. And so, Jill, I'm asking you. If, she also asked Jill, where's her site, because she is homeopathic. Is that how you say it? When you do natural stuff. So, Jill, if you would put that in the chat, we would appreciate it. Okay. So, and then Brenna has a question here. Let's see. I get that publication when it comes out. Okay. So she gets Jill's publication. Thank you, Jill. But Maureen is in the healthcare business. So you're saying, as far as Jill is concerned in her publication, that she needs to explain what it is her customers are going, how her customers are going to benefit by using her service.
Because we all
And
want to know that whether we ask it or not. We want to know how, if it's not money right away. I publicized with a Jewish paper, and it was about how many eyeballs are going to see it and potential. Like we had this breakdown stuff, right? And I needed to know that so that I can talk to them every month and say, how many eyeballs see this, where they live in area. I needed to know this stuff to know if I need to keep advertising with them. Regardless of what we're doing, we want to know either money results or if it's just for lead generation, right? We need
yes,
to know we need to be responsible business owners, and we work hard for our money like everybody else. So we need to know that we're going to spend our money, and we need to know what kind of results we should expect in what time frame. We
okay,
need to know in 90 days because nothing is overnight. People tell you in 2 days, 2 weeks. Do not listen. You need a minimum when you advertise. You better have like a 3 to 6 months money. I like to say a whole year, but it scares people when I said a year. But really, 3 to 6 months. So if you advertise with Jill, once she give you the list of things she's fulfilling for you, allow the 90 days to let her show you what she's doing. Let her come back to you with some data showing you what has happened, so you can have a discussion. And then don't try to cut the woman price, pay her what she's asking. That's the other thing. So you can do the thing.
yes. Okay, so because one of the ways to get people to sign up for your service or to become a part of your clientele is to, what you're talking about today, to tell them what the outcome is going to be.
Yep.
When you advertise with us, you're going to see blah 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 blah. Our customers in the past have seen da 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 da. So tell them what the success rate is, or how many touches you have, or impressions you got, how many people click in there to see stuff, who you're expanding to, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You want people to know. I've got a program that's going to start in July called the 4-Hour Workday. People are going to learn consistency. They're going to understand how to focus. Those are the results. And see, this sounds like intangible stuff, but this is the stuff you're going to learn in there. You're learning how to be productive. You're learning how to see results. You're learning how to understand how you work. And to learn those things, you're going to systemize it to such a manner that you want to only be working 4 hours a day. Kind of what I'm going to do in my other 4 hours. You're going to be learning the things you need to learn because part of running your business, half of it should be learning and the other part should be doing. You got to keep
Mm,
learning because you got to keep growing and you have to be
mm-hmm.
able to simultaneously do them side by side to be the best you for your clients and for yourself.
Gotcha. Okay, so she put this up. Jill Bernard says, Maureen, my site is lovewellbeing.com. And she sent her friend request.
Okay.
Okay, Jill. So,
Good. And
Jill,
then,
we just want people to know that your site is I Love Wellbeing.
yes.
Okay.
And then
Oh,
Marie could
and
advertise.
she's given us some more information about the outcomes.
Okay.
Mine is annual. She publishes to 20,000 people, generous print guides, da, 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 da. So
Mm,
now she's telling us what we're talking about. What are the outcomes? Uh, you know, I know. Let's read this because it
okay.
says, mine is annual. I publish 20,000 gorgeous print guides. All are featured on my site for the year. Unlimited community calendar posts, social media promo, and more. My
Hmm.
price is ridiculous. I know it should be more. It's just $350 a year. Silly, I know. Huge list of participant feedback at ilovewellbeing.com.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Share the love.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jill. Okay, so now I got a better understanding of what it is Jill does because Jill's in here regularly. So thank you, Jill, for
Yes. So letting
explaining
us
that to me. And I
know.
will go over and look.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
it's good to know. And the thing is, when you keep sharing, Jill, and you keep talking, and people know what you do, you never know who needs to share it out to somebody. Because I could be talking to somebody, I'm always in the summit. I do this a lot. My face is on, like chatting a lot, and I like to talk to people. The minute I know somebody got something that somebody else can use, I
Yes,
tell them. I share it out. I
I do
don't
too.
need. I don't
I
know. It
love
doesn't
being a
matter. Yeah, it
resource.
doesn't matter if I doesn't need don't need it. I make sure I share it out to the people that I know could use it.
There you go.
If you don't
Yes,
know who I know, and I don't know who you know, so this is why we do this for each
e-
other. So this is good.
exactly. So let's talk about Maureen before we go. Maureen has that table of six.
Mhm.
She does health and fitness. So how would she? What should she do to let people know that they've had an outcome? Because health and fitness is sort of intangible too, because we take it for granted. Oh, and if we don't see results right away, we get discouraged, et cetera, et cetera.
And
So
people who see
what would you
results,
recommend?
and people see the results mainly in the pounds that has left their body, not in other things, right? That's really what people knows. Okay, that's a fact. But in the fitness world, I don't. I think it's pretty easier. But anywho, she would want to list. If part of this is confidence, she want to explain to them confidence, but she want to break it down into like 3 points in what that would look like. So confidence,
Yes.
3 points of what I would look like. Food, how that would make them feel. If and she's probably doing personal development in there. So the finding, what are they finding out about themselves? I have this little
Hmm.
thing that I'm doing that's called Feel It, Find It, and Do It. And that's part of my beginner free program that I'm offering because one of the biggest things when a program is offered, people see it as do, do, do. But because they don't know anything about themselves, they went away and do, and they don't understand. They don't understand if they have to see me to do well or hear me to do well.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they're like audio learners, whatever learners, and they don't know these sort of things. So this is gonna push them to find out about themselves before they go get into learning any of my programs. So she would do these little things and making sure that they can answer these questions. These lists survey again really helps you. And then once you did that survey, Maureen, then you would take that now and use your answers for your listing of where you'll tell people they'll get out of there because you
Okay. She
truly
says yes. She says she's a holistic health
help
coach.
coach. Yeah.
and gut health coach. Okay.
Yes. And gut is so important. Oh my gosh. Gut is so important because that causes so much problems.
So Jill is saying, Maureen, talk about what ailments they likely have now that can be alleviated, testimonials from others on how much better they feel. Well, that's one way to do it. But when you're advertising, you got to be succinct because people's attention span is so short, Jill. They want to know, will it stop will it help my hot flashes? I can read that bullet. Help my hot flashes. uh, will it increase my energy? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
They want to know. It's like, because it's copy. All this boils down to is copy and how people read. If you look at Facebook
Mhm.
ads, if you research Facebook ads, and the good ones would have a lot of people talking, watch it. They're not in having everything in paragraph form. Those don't work. The people who have the bullet forms and the little tiny things that's happening, and you like, why is this so long? Because your eye is moving and you have to move, and they know this. This is a trick to marketing and advertising. I mean, you probably know this because you're advertising. So there's this all this stuff that's happening to make you want more because you can't finish the sentence, so you have to keep scrolling to finish this sentence. Always these tricks why they're doing it. But people actually want to know. This guy had a powerful ad going where he tell you what he's doing. He answer the biggest objections that he get. He then answer it again. He tells you the biggest objection. He answer it. He objected his own statement. He answered it. So he had people talking. And he wants that because that's going to make his costs go down lower on Facebook. He's going to have better showing his engagement and all that sort of thing, right? So you want to have
Mm.
those things listed out. He's saying, here, if you work with me, I'm going to help you spend less money on Facebook. If you work with me, I'm going to help you to target the right people. If you work with me, I'm the outcome. He's telling you what he's going to help you do. All if anybody was paying attention, he never told you he's going to make you more money in your business. But people are so busy into the list he gave them that they're not even realizing that he never told them that he's going to help them make money in their business.
Yeah. Yep. So I agree. Here we go. We got some comments over here. Jill says, for the menopausal ladies you help, and through social media and things, she says, yes, bullet point um, on most common ailments that can be alleviated and brief, powerful testimonials. I agree.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you agree, Coach? What do you
Yes.
think?
Yes. It has to be a simple. The people who is going to pay more money going to go to your site and read further into it. But
Mm-hmm.
to grab people, you want to have those happening. And when people start following you and they know you, then you can get into the long-winded thing and conversation because
Yes.
now they know you. But to grab people and have them being interactive, they want to read very quickly and know that, hey, if I work with Marine, I'm going to be able to figure out my gut that is probably causing me to swell up or causing me to get headaches or whatever it is. She's going to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And menopause is big because you go through
Right.
so many different, from hot flashes to crazy thoughts and all the other nonsense. Depends.
And it varies from lady to lady. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's really personal.
Yeah.
So we hope we've been helpful today on a personal level. Jill did say this earlier in the show. She said, "I love hearing more about what you two and all Biz Chicks hosts do. Sometimes we don't know. Thanks so much." So we forget that sometimes the people tuning in don't know exactly what it is that we do because we love this community and. So we just want you to know that we're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run. Biz Chicks does workshops, we do personal appointments, and we do masterminds. In addition to that, we have a Biz Chicks Quarterly in which we work on knowing more about who you are and why you're here, your purpose. So you know that. And our money mindset coach, Ms. Caren Fern, is here every Wednesday to help you break through some of the little scary things that keep you from making money. Help you identify those things so that you can overcome those things and move forward in your business. So with that, Caren, you want to tell people where they can find you if they're looking for more, and if you have any events coming up, let us know.
As Terry was saying, I'm a money mindset coach. So I help people with their mind, and I help them with their money, which is budgeting, organizing, understanding the kind of old story that money has caused them so they don't have any, pricing, and all these are the wonderful things in regards to money. I also teach in my academy, and that's where I offer single courses and big programs. My program that's coming out shortly in July, it's called the 4 Hour Workday. And in there, we'll be working together for a year. That's one of my big program, my signature program. I have others, but that's my signature program. You can find me everywhere in Profits in Daily, because don't we need that? You can find me anywhere in Profits in Daily, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, every which where. I even on TikTok too. We don't have any videos there. Yeah.
Okay, I love it.
Right.
So it's
I
called
do
Profits
have Facebook.
in Daily. I'm putting
Profit
this up. Let me make sure I
Profit in
spelled
Daily.
that right.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay,
And
so if
my
we're looking
group
for
is
you,
right. My group is Profits in Daily for Entrepreneurs.
okay,
Mhm.
guys, we want to connect with Coach Caren. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. In addition to that, we just want to say to you, don't forget to go to the front of your own
One of
line.
your
We'll be here
own line.
tomorrow. It's Thursday. We'll have happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And we just wish you the best in your business. We won't want to keep you, but we do want to improve all the things that you're able to do easily and be able to apply them quickly. So with that, we'll see you tomorrow. We're here at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we just want to say much success in your business. And don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Bye bye.
Thanks for being here.